So exercise 10.7 here, what we need to do is we need to find the length of a straight line segment. Means that we have two coordinates, we need to find what's the distance here. So in order to find the distance here, we need to form a right angle triangle. So we want to form a right angle triangle, we need to see the points here. So first we take the x distance, meaning that from 1 until 7. So there are 6 jumps here. So this is considered to be 6 units. And then we take the y difference. You can take the y difference here, or you can take the y difference here. Also the same thing. So y difference is the coordinate is 1, and then the coordinate here is 9. So from 1 to go to 9 is 8 jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. When you have 8 here, so this is 8 units, 6 units, you will form a right angled triangle. When you form a right angled triangle like this, you will be able to calculate this line, which is your hypotenuse, by using the Pythagoras theorem. Pythagoras theorem means a square plus b square equals to c square. This is your hypotenuse. So in this case, they put the hypotenuse as 8. So a square is equals to b square plus c square. You add them together, then you get 100 here. Before, this is not your answer. Before you get your answer, you need to square root it, because a square is equals to 100. So a is equals to square root of 100. Then you get 10 units. This is your hypotenuse. So let's look at work example 10. So it says that given this and this, you don't need to draw this thing out actually. So they draw it out just to show you. So what happens here is you look at your x, you compare. Doesn't really matter 3 minus 7 or 7 minus 3. It's not like your gradient. This one you just need to find the distance. So normally what you do is you're supposed to take the bigger one minus the smaller one. So 7 minus 3 is equals to 4. So you get 4 units at the bottom here. You can take 6 minus 3, then you get 3 here. So like here, what I wrote here, not necessarily must be like that. Because even if you use it this way, it is also correct. Because when you square a negative number, for example, if I take 3 minus 7, I get negative 4. It doesn't really matter, because after that, when I square it, it's not negative 4 square, it's a bracket and put the negative 4 inside. So I need to do it this way. So if I do it this way, my answer is still 16. So it doesn't really matter whether I take big minus small, small minus big. Just this one here, if you use this way, there might be a little bit of room for error, because some students might type this in the calculator, which you will get negative 16, which is wrong. Because length cannot be in negative form. So if you want to do it this way, then you get negative 16, which will disrupt the whole thing, and you get your answer will be incorrect. So if you want, just take the big minus small, big minus small. So you get 3 here, 4 here. So 4 square plus 3 square, you get 25. Then we square root it, you get 5 units. This is the Pythagoras theorem. It's the same thing as this one here. Okay, then we go to midpoint. Midpoint is where the line meets right in the middle. So if you see here, where is halfway line? If you look at this until here, we need to look for where the halfway line is. So roughly it should be about here, somewhere here. Okay, so if let me mark the spot. You can estimate, normally you can estimate the line. And for this one here, for your length of the line, most of the time, 100% of the time, the length will definitely be longer than 4 and definitely be longer than 3. This is because this line here is the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse cannot be shorter than the other two lines. Same thing here. If you calculate A is 10 more than 8 more than 6. This one here, 5 more than 4 more than 3. Cannot be lesser than any of these two. So sometimes when you do maths, it's important to check. Or if you know all these things, then you will know whether your answer is correct or not. Then we look at midpoint here. Your answer should be somewhere in the middle here. So this point right there should determine your midpoint. Should be either 4, then here in the middle here should be 4, 7. So if you estimate the answer, then you can check whether it's correct or not. If you get something like less than this or more than this, then definitely wrong. Because if it's more than this, then not in the middle anymore. So the answer must be in between 3 and 5 and in between 4 and 10. So we can actually use this number by adding them together. So what's in between 3 and 5? So a lot of students, the mistake happens is when they take 5 minus 3, then divide by 2, which is wrong. Because that will calculate the length. I don't want the length. I want the point. So if you are sitting in the 3rd place, and then your friend is sitting on the 5th place, the number in the middle should be number 4. So how to get 4 here? 3 plus 5 divided by 2. If you take 5 minus 3 divided by 2, you get 1, so which is incorrect. So in order to find midpoints, always the same thing. You take the x, you add them together, then you find what's in the middle by dividing 2. Same thing for the y. If you see a seat number 4, your friend sit at seat number 10. What's in the middle? One more person can sit in the middle. What's the number here? So in order to find, you can write 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can write a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is what little kids will do because this is easier to see. Then you can see, oh, what's in the middle here? So we see 1, 2, 1, 2. So 7 is in the middle. So this is more visual. You can look at it and do it this way. But since we're doing mathematics, what we need to do is we just need to take 10 plus 4, then the whole thing divided by 2. Then we will get our answer. So we get 14 divided by 2, which is equals to 7. So this is your midpoint for your y. Then we will get our coordinate. So x midpoint is 4, y midpoint is 7. So this is the coordinate. The midpoint will be 4, 7. It's just that simple.